of Max Verstappen. Ricardo is just going through cops at the moment on his flying lap, and we can look now to the racing point of Lance Stroll. And Lance Stroll on a career best run of 5 consecutive progressions from Q1. Got into Q3 here at Silverstone for the first time last weekend. He'd been in Q3 before, of course, but not here at Silverstone itself.
He uses different parts of the racetrack, does Lance, all the way through the final sector. Maybe works for him in the car, but where has that? Where's that
put him 12th fastest?
Yeah.
Grosjean on his second run has just gone ahead of the racing point. Ricardo, meanwhile, goes 5th fastest and only 3/10. Max Verstappen looking very competitive, tightly packed up in the top 5 at the moment as Sebastian Vettel goes for his next run.
It's audible at the moment, but yeah, we're gonna be going ahead and trying to stream the Silverstone Grand Prix, and this is pretty good quality audio, I guess, if you keep the earphones on with you. So let's see how this goes. So now then, this is an incident that the stewards are looking into for Esteban Ocon and George Russell. Something going on with George Russell's Williams. I also kind of need to keep going on with George Russell's this thing on so that there is someone or the other I'll be able to see. Thumbnail not arranged properly. Oh, what's up, Sambit? Yeah, I know that's. I think it's arranged properly now. The file that you sent me, it wasn't proper exactly, but yeah, there is some delay in the stream as well. But the file that you sent me, it wasn't proper exactly, but yeah, there is some delay in the stream as well. So now then, the scene with the qualifying one is the Q1 is that Hamilton is leading with 1 minute 26 seconds and 8:18. Bottas just behind as usual. Both the Mercedes doing really well. Bottas just behind as usual. Both the Mercedes doing really well. I'm trying to find out if I can somehow I also want to put right now I'm working on putting in the thumbnail and whatever's there. I'll try to put a live thing and just write live right there and all of that. But yeah, I'll also, for the stream going on right now, I will try and put on some music in the background, because if nothing else, at least that will keep going. So of course we are going to go to Spotify, and there go with Hany Siam. Hany Siam is the crazy guy, but yeah. So now then, I think I shouldn't worry about all the other things, the music and all of that, but I should just go ahead and yeah. So my friend just told me that my thumbnail is fine now, and I am glad it's fine. But yeah, join me in on all of this, uh, the Grand Prix that's going on, and let's see what we can change for this. And I want to put a widget as well over here for the, it was some goal, subscription goal, I guess. And yeah, and the subscription goal right over here, and alert box that can go right here, bottom. Let's try test widget. Alright, so I think that is working, and it's working pretty fine, pretty neat. So you see there, I have 8 days to go, and I have a subscription goal left of 8 people, so it really helped. But otherwise, now then, we're on board with George Russell over there, and George is doing pretty good. George Russell has been doing good since the since this year. To be honest, his year has been pretty amazing, and he has been able to qualify for Q2, which I don't even think is what uh, these people are hoping for. The people at Williams, they were pretty much satisfied with Q1 itself and him qualifying somewhere in Q1. But apart from that, I think even they weren't exactly expecting him to qualify for Q2 for so many times, having uh, some traffic on his way. George Russell going pretty well into the first two chicanes, for first two sectors, and plus 9.3, almost a second slower. So he'll be down there. He's really up there actually. He's eighth with a time of plus 9.3, almost a second behind Lewis Hamilton, and Lando Norris goes ahead of the line with a timing of 1:27. Carlos Sainz behind him goes to the 8th position. Carlos Sainz going down to Pierre Gasly now, 1:27, 1:54. Alex Albon going third on the lap. Sebastian Vettel, let's see where he goes, and that's a really disappointing performance by Sebastian Vettel. I mean, if we consider the player he is and the team that he's driving for, he should be up there in the top 6 for sure. Charles Leclerc has also not been able to perform that well on board now with Lance Stroll Racing Point, that has been doing pretty superb, if you ask me, for the past so many races, and again he improves on his own timing. And we are here with Esteban Ocon, who is on the third and final sector, coming in again. Bottas, on the other hand, going in with the fastest lap, and 1:26.738. Hamilton going down, and it's the checkered flag for Bottas, Hamilton, Albon, Gasly, Lance Stroll, Lando Norris, Esteban Ocon, Ricardo, Sainz, Grosjean, Vettel, Danny Kvyat. The elimination zone is already there with Danny Kvyat, Kevin Magnussen, Latifi, and both Alpha Tauris, I guess, with Antonio Giovinazzi, and 20th we have Kimi Raikkonen. So Pierre Gasly would be really pumped. I think that's Alfa Romeo, and Pierre Gasly would be really pumped that he qualified, and George Russell as well, qualifying for P2 for the second time, I guess. So he would be really happy with the performance that he's been able to give uh, to the team, qualifying in Q2 for the next session, and Q1, we come with that. We come to an end for the Q1, and hello. So now then, the elimination zone has Danny Kvyat, Kevin Magnussen, Nicholas Latifi, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Kimi Raikkonen. Those are the players that are not going to be taking part anymore in the Q2 and Q1. And yeah, that's the case. Both of the Alfa Romeos out in 19th and 20th place, not being able to perform that well. We're on board now then with Antonio Giovinazzi. We saw there he goes really on the outside of that uh, path. Chicane? What's a chicane? But yeah, F1 has been really fascinating to watch in the last so many uh, days. I guess the one amazing thing that this thing did, Drive to Survive, is that it gets you hooked onto F1. I mean, it shows you the amazing sport that F1 is. It's so much more than just a sport, and I guess Drive to Survive is just kind of the beginning to when you properly start getting into F1. I guess YouTube will teach you more about F1 than anything. So yeah, that's there. I don't have anyone. Who else is watching? I would really like to know who you are, but uh, come on, come into the chats and let's talk about the Grand Prix now. Then we will be going into Q2, and that's there. So I guess I'm gonna be figuring out a few things here and there till we get into Q2, and till then I'm gonna start playing a few songs by Hany, Siam, and yeah, that's that. Just enjoy the music by him, and I'll go ahead and put a link to his music as well in the description, so make sure you go to Spotify and check out his amazing music. uh, that's by Hany Sang. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the music. the players have started to race again, and we have on board Lewis Hamilton, who sets the fastest lap, of course, 1:26.266. Mercedes have been performing really, really well, and Bottas comes in from behind him to set the under 25 mark. Bottas setting a time of 1:25.785. Behind him, Lewis Hamilton. 10 minutes to go for the qualifying, and Danny Ricciardo in third position right now, who's 8/10 of a second behind. Verstappen just behind, uh, just more than 1/10 of a second behind Danny Ricciardo. Verstappen doing really well. Albon coming in just behind. So we have another sandwich here of two Mercedes, then the Renault, and the two Red Bulls as well. Lando Norris behind Alex Albon, followed by Esteban Ocon, Pierre Gasly, Carlos Sainz, and Roman Grosjean. I don't know why Roman Grosjean is right now in this, or Nico Hülkenberg as well, and they are in the elimination zone, by the way. So Q2 going on, 9 minutes to go for Q2. Bottas leading this with 1:25. Of course, Hamilton will have something up his belt. Bottas recently signing a new contract with Mercedes. I think I saw this coming from Mercedes because they have been one of the only teams that are pushing more for experience rather than the new upcoming talent. We see Ferrari, we see uh, Red Bull as well, for that matter. They are bringing in new players. Ferrari for the 2021 season have Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. Sebastian Vettel sadly wouldn't be with Ferrari. And talking about Vettel, on board with Sebastian Vettel, behind him Charles Leclerc, number 5 and number 16. Vettel going in for it. Bottas was 27.657 on the first sector. Vettel just behind, 1/10 of a second behind on the first sector than Bottas. This wouldn't be really fine for him if he goes on for this, as Hamilton is just 4/10 of a second behind him. Not what Vettel would have wanted. He needs to up his pace a lot if he wants to reach Bottas for that second sector. Coming really close to the second sector, and here will be the timing. Sebastian Vettel is actually faster than Carlos Sainz, 1/10 of a second faster than Carlos Sainz, but would still be behind Bottas, I guess, if you ask me. And Charles Leclerc impressing in the first sector, having a good second sector as well. And Vettel now then going to the finish line is at number 10 with a time of 1:27. He's 1 second 594, almost 1.6 seconds behind, and Charles Leclerc goes up. This is amazing. Charles Leclerc goes to 4th position. So if nobody knows, or if anyone's wondering, I am a big Charles Leclerc fan. It's always Charles Leclerc OP and Sainz OP for me. So I'm a really big Leclerc and Carlos Sainz fan, but Carlos Sainz in this one, he was so close last race to winning, not winning, but getting a very impressive performance before he had a tire damage to his car. Was going really well. I guess he was about to finish 4th or 5th, but he was playing really well, and I don't know, just happened, and the tire failure happened for 3 people actually, and that was Carlos Sainz, followed by Valtteri Bottas, and in the final lap it was Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen, to be honest, was going at it, hunting down Hamilton like anything. So he has that in him. He has that raw energy in him, kind of uh, the hunt kind. So the hunting kind. So yeah, killer instinct, as my friend used to say. I don't know if he's the one watching right now, but subpar Sam. If you haven't check his channel out as well. He's been doing some commentary on football. Last night he streamed a football match and did pretty well. I mean, I'm so happy for him that he did the stream. I've been telling him for a long time to finally start streaming, and I think he's also enjoying uh, commentating as much as I am. So it's fun. It's fun. It's a lot of fun, to be honest, to commentate, and I've been enjoying it. So we're on board with George Russell now, who will be trying his best Q2 right here. Science is in the elimination zone, but these are all the past times. They haven't set a new lap time yet. Or have they? Oh, actually, they have. But I hope Carlos Sainz goes out and goes for another lap so that he can go up on the table. Vettel just behind. Just, and by just I mean 0.002 seconds behind Pierre Gasly. So the driver at risk for sure is Pierre Gasly right now at the 10th position. Below him are the elimination zones, where right now it's Sebastian Vettel followed by Carlos Sainz, Nico Hülkenberg, Roman Grosjean, and George Russell. George Russell has been impressing in the past few races a lot. He has been able to qualify for Q2, as I said, and big up to him. I hope he qualifies for Q1, Q3 as well. I mean, he's a really talented driver. We know that, and have cars have a great role to play. Jumps 2 positions above, going for the 12th position with a time of 1.670. Now then, Bottas and Hamilton with an outlap. Charles Leclerc going for the outlap as well. I guess it's Charles Leclerc. Oh, it's Sebastian Vettel, number 5, Ferrari. Uh, Sebastian Vettel going for the outlap, and let's hope he's able to give out that amazing time so that he can qualify for Q3. To be fair, Sebastian Vettel, one of the legends of the game and the best drivers that F1 will ever see, and he's not been able to perform that well lately, and it's really sad to see that happening. So I really hope he gives out just the amount that he needs to qualify for Q3. He's just behind Pierre Gasly. Now then, we are on board with the Mercedes, and behind him is the Red Bull of Alex Albon, I guess. Verstappen hasn't come out of the pit. Everyone is on the outlap, but yeah, everyone is on the outlap. But let's see. Right now, when I'm checking the audio, it's pretty fine. If you actually have earphones on, headphones on, keep that slowly and slowly. When this keeps increasing, I'll keep streaming more and more, and yeah, I'll keep improving this audio quality. I'm planning to buy a mic as well, so let's see how it goes. Of course, support really helps. Support helps people morally. So if but the other thing is that I'm still gonna keep creating. So even if there isn't much anything going on this channel, I'll still be buying the mic, because I am doing this because I enjoy it. I've started to enjoy commentating. I've started to enjoy live streaming, and I believe if I work hard and I put in the right amount of work, I can actually try and convert this into something legit for myself. So on board with Lando Norris, Lando Norris not that great of a first sector for Hulkenberg as well. Uh, Decent second sector as well. Lando Norris 7 tenths of a second, Hulkenberg 7 tenths of a second as well, almost 8 tenths of a second. Pierre Gasly not that fast, but the pale chicane, as this is called. I don't know if I don't know how I can. I guess the audio of the commentating of F1 is also audible. Let's see if it is or not. I guess the audio of the commentating of F1 is also audible. Let's see if it is or not. Oh damn, it's not audible, to be honest. It's not that audible. So Q2 is finally over, and what we have now is Hulkenberg is in the second spot. Hamilton has finished the race, but I'm able to hear myself right now, and that's not very fine because there was a lag. But yeah, Bottas with a time of 1:25. Hulkenberg following him for the second spot. Hamilton followed by Gasly, Ricardo, Albon, Stroll, Lance Stroll at the 7th position. Leclerc managing to qualify. Verstappen at the brink of it. Being able to qualify, Vettel not being able to impress and qualify for Q3. That is going to be really, really sad. Knocked out of this qualifying. The distance between Leclerc and Vettel was always slower than Leclerc. When we see it, Sector 3 is where he impressed as much as he could. Disappointment truly for Sebastian Vettel, and it's going to be tough for him to I don't know, tough. It's been a really tough season for Sebastian Vettel. It's been in general a really tough season for Sebastian Vettel, not being able to qualify for this Grand Prix as well. I don't know, for somewhere my prediction was that Sebastian Vettel is going to because he'll get used to this circuit, he'll be able to excel in the second and third Grand Prix. So I really hope, of course, Ferrari has uh, been one of the favorites of almost everyone who started watching F1. Man, Ferrari's been there since the very beginning. So, of course, that's there. Sebastian Vettel with a disappointing performance. Ocon, Sainz has been eliminated as well. That's really effed up, to be honest. Really wanted to see Sainz. This hits bad, man. Carlos Sainz, I love Carlos Sainz. Sainz OP, not being able to qualify, knocked out, disappointing performance for him as well. So let's see how that goes. Uh, Q3 will be fun to watch, but a lot of people haven't been able to give exactly the performance that they would be hoping. So um, Ferrari would not be satisfied, of course, but Charles Leclerc, as he managed to qualify for the Q3, they would be happy with that. Would be hoping for a much better performance in Q3 so that they have a good position for the grid tomorrow. Uh, Charles Leclerc, of course, would be hoping to get a pole of some sort. If he's able to get the pole, that would be an amazing moment for Ferrari. Haven't been able to do that this entire year. In the entire year, they haven't been able to take the podium. So, of course, that is gonna be there for Charles Leclerc. The pressure is on him to deliver for Ferrari. We remember the people from Ferrari, of course, were saying that the performance that they've been giving this season is not good for the Ferrari name. So, of course, Ferrari needs to have a close eye on that as well. They need to see. It's so sad, dude, to see Ferrari perform the way they are doing. But yeah, I hope they do really well really soon. And till Q3 begins, enjoy some quality music from Hany, Siam. Hi Sambit, what's up? So of course the results of the qualifying have been disappointing. Carlos Sainz has been removed. We see him right there, number 55. Carlos Sainz is out of the third qualifying. So let's see how it turns out to be honest. And yeah, Max Verstappen at number 9 as well. So as Sam said, it's coffee disappointing. The art of today's live stream has been created by Sambit as well, so go ahead and check him out. His Instagram is in the description, and the Spotify playlist that I was playing is also in the description, so go ahead and check that out. So now then, the covers from Valtteri Bottas's Mercedes has been removed from the tires, and Bottas is on the outlap. Max Verstappen is soon going to be on the outlap, it seems. It's Alex Albon, my bad. So it's going to be fun to see who is how they perform in Q3, and it's about to begin in just a short while. So let's see how the qualifying 3 goes. Now then, everyone is out. We see big posters of the Mercedes and the Red Bulls as well. On board then with Esteban Ocon. My live has gone, so I'm just gonna go live again. So we're on board with Esteban Ocon. He would be not. Is it Ocon or is it Danny Ricciardo? I'm not sure, but we're on board with Renault, and Renault would be really impressed with the performance that they have. Renault was going to try, and they're really in a comfortable position this time, to be honest, with the way they've been performing. Lando Norris for McLaren. The fight between McLaren and Renault is one that would be really fascinating to see. Racing Point, of course, has come up like anything, and Ferrari have gone down. But the standings of this year, I'm not sure. Mercedes, of course, is leading, and Red Bull is behind them. But because of the impressive performance of Charles Leclerc in the first Grand Prix and the last Grand Prix, I guess Ferrari are in a pretty decent position right now. So let's see how it goes for them. And yeah, we're on board with Lando Norris now, and Lando Norris impressing everyone in Q1 and Q2. Q3 is gonna be really fun to watch, going through Sector 1, having a pretty decent time. Lewis Hamilton as well, uh, just a bit behind Lando Norris. So it's going to be fun to see Lando Norris set the first time of Q3. Lando Norris, I don't know what the name of these turns are, but slowly with time, when I'll know the names, it's going to be so much fun to just watch F1 in general, dude. I'm so pumped to be following the sport. I love sports. I love sports. Have always loved it. Have always loved playing outdoor sports as well. People who know me would know I am a pretty decent athlete as well. So that's there. I really love sports and have been enjoying commentating on sports as well. It's really just speaking whatever, not of course whatever. When you're commentating, it's not just whatever, you need to have good knowledge of it as well. So since starting to watch F1, I have some of it what I need to just get started. But apart from that, of course, I will be working on these skills. And what I'm saying is, apart from this commentating or anything, I'm just excited to watch F1 in general throughout my life now. So different than so many other sports where there's only 20 or so races, how many ever races there are, but that's all you have to follow throughout the year. But yeah, I saw NASCAR and a few races of that as well, and that was pretty fascinating as well. So now then, Q3 with 7.5 minutes to go. The standing right now is Lewis Hamilton has set the fastest lap, almost going to the 24-second mark. 1 minute 25.284. Bottas just behind him, and followed by Ricardo Hulkenberg, Max Verstappen, Alex Albon, Charles Leclerc maintaining the 7th position, Lance Stroll going into 8th, not being able to perform that well. What he did, he would be looking to qualify again in the top 5, or maybe even get a slot in the top 4. Pierre Gasly and Lando Norris in the 9th and 10th spot. So Pierre Gasly would be really pumped with the performance that he's been able to give to the team. Let's see how Alex Albon does. It's really fascinating to see Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon go at it as well. Both really good drivers, both really competitive, and have been doing great in F1 in general. So Hulkenberg and Max Verstappen then. Hulkenberg was fast in the first 2 sectors. Not that fast, but Max kind of covered up in the third lap. So Hulkenberg just being less than 1/10 of a second slower than Nico Hulkenberg. But the Racing Point doing pretty well have Lance Stroll and Hulkenberg. It's been really kind of a fun ride for Nico Hulkenberg. He has he was just called for the Grand Prix by Racing Point, and yeah, it's fun to see how Hulkenberg is turning out this race for himself. We see all the cars coming in. We have about 5 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the qualifying 3. Max Verstappen saying something. So the standing right now is Hamilton, followed by Bottas, Ricardo, Hulkenberg, Max Verstappen, Alex Albon, Leclerc in 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, going to Lance Stroll, Pierre Gasly, and Lando Norris. All the cars are inside the pit right now, inside the garage, uh, and having change in the tires. So let's see what tires they're planning to put on. It's what's also fascinating to see about F1 is the amount of work that also goes into the car, much more than the race itself. Uh, Much more than what we think is just the sport itself. There's so much BTS and there's so much work that's going on behind the scenes in F1, on the side of the engineer, on the side of the drivers as well. The information they're giving them and the research, that's R&D that's going on the car, and all of that. So it's so fascinating to see how in depth the sport is. So there some crazy thing going on about the degrees of the tires, the change in degree of the tires, the change in 5 degrees since Q2 for some player. I guess that's what I'm hearing right now. So of course, the people who are commentating right now at F1, the official commentating team, they have much more information and stats. So of course, I'm listening to that in the background as well and commentating at the same time. So 3 minute 45 remaining, and we have the car of Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas leaving at pretty much the same time. Behind them, Ricardo in third position. We see the McLaren coming out of Lando Norris, and I guess that was Pierre Gasly as well, who was coming out of the thing. Lewis Hamilton then with, I guess, the fastest lap of Silverstone with 1:24. They're waiting. The Red Bull is waiting to bring out their car, and that should be Alex Albon, if I'm not wrong. I don't know who that was, but that was one of the Red Bulls coming out. So we have Pierre Gasly behind the two Mercedes, followed by Lando Norris and Ricardo. So everyone wants to get up there on the grid, but it's not going to be easy for anyone to take those positions with the Mercedes already always being there. Mercedes have been performing exceptional in the constructors standings. They are way above any other team. So now then, everyone has an outlap, and it's they're gonna try to separate from each other. Verstappen is last in the lot. It's Hamilton, Bottas, Ricardo, followed by Lando Norris and Pierre Gasly. We have Lance Stroll, who is being followed by Charles Leclerc, and Verstappen behind Alex Albon is just ahead of Nico Hulkenberg. Nico Hulkenberg has done really well. Ricardo managing to go up Nico Hulkenberg, but Hulkenberg coming in to this race, and of course his first race for 2020 and in a long time was also the Silverstone Grand Prix last time. So I think he's got the grip of the thing of the track, the UK Silverstone Grand Prix, and maybe that's somewhere helping him. So the history of the pole positions at Silverstone is Lewis Hamilton has been on the pole 7 times, and this is a triple header. So of course he has 2 more chances to make that 7 into a 9, and of course he'll be trying to go there. So he's a bit slow on the first sector. Lewis Hamilton going for it. Behind him, Valtteri Bottas and Ricardo slow on the first sector. Bottas a bit slow as well. So the speeds of Bottas and Lewis Hamilton were equal to 3 decimal points there. On the 4th one, it was similar. That tells us how amazing both of these drivers are. So Bottas kind of needs to really go ahead and challenge Hamilton for the pole. Hamilton doing well on the third sector. Valtteri Bottas faster on the third sector, on the middle sector. Let's see if he can in any way go ahead of Hamilton. And Hamilton setting the fastest lap or the fastest sector. Valtteri Bottas, can he do it? And Valtteri Bottas does it by 6/100ths of a second. Bottas has taken the pole. This is amazing to see. Bottas, followed by Hamilton, followed by Ricardo Hulkenberg, and Max Verstappen coming in the fifth place. Verstappen and Gasly taking the sixth place. Charles Leclerc, not a very good middle sector for him. Let's see what he can do. It's not that fast, maintaining the position of number 7. Alex Albon might just impress as well. Hulkenberg going into P3 above Ricardo, and Stroll going into the 5th position, pushing everyone behind him. 1 place behind Verstappen in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 going to Pierre Gasly, Charles Leclerc, Alex Albon and Lando Norris. Verstappen setting the fastest lap, not the fastest lap, but the fastest lap for himself now, coming into the 4th position. Alex Albon and Lando Norris are still behind, and I don't know if they set the fastest lap, but that is the standing now. Valtteri Bottas takes the pole position and doesn't let the count for Hamilton go above than 7, and that is amazing to see. This shows the amazing class that Mercedes has been having, and there's no doubt that if the two Mercedes car perform well, they're gonna have the victory at 70th anniversary Silverstone Grand Prix as well. Now then, that brings us to an end to the qualifying 3, the Q3 of the 70th anniversary Silverstone Grand Prix. We have Valtteri Bottas, Lewis Hamilton, followed by Nico Hulkenberg on the top 3 spots. On the second grid also will be starting Max Verstappen, and this is an amazing result for Racing Point as well. Nico Hulkenberg, yeehaw! I don't know why I did that, but yeah, that's what Nico Hulkenberg did, and he's really pumped, and it's going to be fun to see how Nico Hulkenberg performs as well. Get in there, Nico. Performing amazing at the Q3, as we said. Racing Point have been doing pretty amazing. Valtteri Bottas right there, doing so well. Would be pumped having the pole position, going to his car and giving it a pat. It's paused for me, so I don't exactly know what he's doing, but Valtteri Bottas would be really pumped with the result that we have. To be honest, I'm pumped. The only thing I'm happy right now is Bottas getting the pole position and not Hamilton. But of course, wanted Carlos Sainz to do well, and of course Charles Leclerc. Leclerc OP, Sainz OP. But yeah, there's that. And Valtteri Bottas doing really well in Q3, and tomorrow the race day is gonna be amazing. Everyone going ahead and congratulating who I guess is Nico Hulkenberg for the 3rd spot, Danny Ricciardo and Max Verstappen or Alex Albon going there. Nico Hulkenberg, of course, performing exceptionally well, coming from behind, coming into 3rd position, and did well in Q2 as well. So the Mercedes would be hoping Nico Hulkenberg to stay back, because Racing Point have a brilliant car. So it's going to be fun to see what they do tomorrow as well. So that's where we stand. That is the standing for the Silverstone Grand Prix. We don't have it on the screen yet, but let's see if I can recollect it. It's Bottas, Hamilton, and Hulkenberg, followed by Max Verstappen, and it's another Racing Point. So it's Lance Stroll, followed by Danny Ricciardo, Pierre Gasly above Charles Leclerc in the 3rd grid at 6th position. Charles Leclerc, and then followed by Norris at the back. walk on as well behind Charles Leclerc, and one more spot that I'm missing out on. But yeah, the race tomorrow is going to be as much fun as this thing. So let's see how that turns out to be. This was fun streaming this session of F1, and I streamed for about, I don't know how long, because it's not showing today where we are with, like, oh, it's 54 minutes. So yeah, it was fun streaming this live stream, and I'm gonna go back before wrapping all of this up. I'm gonna go and turn on the music again so that you guys can enjoy some nice music by Hany. Make sure to go ahead and check him out. The link is in the description. Minutes. So yeah, it was fun streaming this live stream, and I'm gonna go back before wrapping all of this up. I'm gonna go and turn on the music again. Streaming this live stream, and I'm gonna go back before wrapping all of this up. I'm gonna go and turn on the music again. Streaming this live stream, and turn on the music again.
मूड लाइटिंग सेट थी. His favorite dish
the F1, and tomorrow it's going to be the final race day of the 70th anniversary Silverstone GP. So be sure to tune in again. I guess I will be streaming it, I'm not sure, but yeah, that's all I have to say, and thank you for tuning in.